Now, you might already know this, but about a year ago, the good folks at OffSec Services released the 10th anniversary edition of Kali Linux. Now, with that, they also brought us Kali Purple. What's Kali Purple, right? It's got some blue team tools, it's got some red team tools. You mix blue, you mix red, what do you get? You get purple, right? Kali Purple. So this came with a lot of really awesome tools, as well as a brand new thing called Kali Purple Sock in a Box. And Sock in a Box was basically a learning practice sort of environment for folks who want to be SOC analysts or get their foot in the door when it comes to cybersecurity, right? It wasn't really the easiest thing to put together. And so you might have seen this. I've made a couple of videos of me stumbling around trying to figure out how to put all this together. And through my trials and tribulations, right, I prepared these videos. And I'm thinking, hey, they're going to release a new version soon. So I went over to the release history page, and I'm thinking, well, hey, ChatGPT, can you look at this and tell me, some information? So I put together this nice little bar graph here, and we can see, a majority of releases in the first quarter come from February. So I'm thinking, it's not the guarantee it's going to happen, right? Definitely within the next 90 days, obviously, but it's going to be coming up soon. So I went over to my Kali Purple Sock in a Box environment, and I start spinning up my VMs, right? I'm ready to start playing around in here, and I realize things aren't coming up, right? And I'm looking at I built a couple of extra boxes here, right? These Windows machines, you can see them on the side here, as well as a kind of GRC tools called Aramba, along with a Kali attack box. And so I brought everything up, and nothing came up, right? I'm like, what's going on? Why isn't the environment working? So I get into troubleshooting mode. I start looking around, and I see, well, under storage, look at that. Two of my disk, two of my storage areas over here are at like 100% utilization. So trying to figure out which machine it was. Well, it's machine 301, which is our Kali Purple machine. And if you know anything about Elasticsearch and how, it'll gladly pull in logs all day and, use up all that hard drive space. And unless you tell it otherwise, that's a problem. And so that's what I ran into here across both of these storage tiers that I set up. So this machine used up a bunch of storage, and it crashed the server. And it got me thinking, right? I'm curious now, like, in the beginning of this, I started putting together this list of resources it would take, but now we got some data running. I haven't really been touching it all that much, but it's been up and running. So let's see how it did, right? Let's look at the CPU, the memory. We already looked at the storage here and see what it looked like. So for CPU, I mean, it doesn't look like it really got above 14% utilization, and that's with 12 CPUs. These aren't anything super fancy, just these Xeon, the version numbers there at 3.5 gigahertz. Okay, we had the entire system up and running here, the entire Kali Purple Sock in a Box, as well as this IIS server, these like Play Virtual machines, a domain controller. Right, we never really got above 14% CPU usage, which is pretty awesome. So that's good to know for the next build. As far as the memory, right? When we look at how much machine the memory's been using since October when we spun everything up, well, after I got the base system installed, and remember I budgeted around like 64 gigs, I did bump a few of the machines up because they were sluggish. So, with that bump, sitting at around 75 gigabytes of RAM usage, and so that's not too bad, right? That'll get you your base Sock in a Box environment, no problem. But with the entire lab, like all the Windows machines and everything, we're looking at around like 120 gigs, right? So if you want to play with a bunch of different machines, and it doesn't even have to be this complicated, right? This is kind of overkill for what you really need if you're trying to learn. But 120 gigs of RAM, that's it. And so where's the oh yeah, we already looked at the storage. So it's looking like we're going to have to bump up the storage to accommodate the kali-purple machine and maybe the kali-eminence, right? Both of these are running Elasticsearch, pulling in a bunch of information all day, every day. Or I guess we could just like tell the machines to cut off the logs after a certain amount of time, right? Don't keep everything. Prune that database or index every so many weeks or something like that. So knowing what we know now, I'm gonna start from scratch. I'm just gonna like delete everything and start from the top. I wonder if ChatGPT can help us make this a bit faster. Let's see what it came up with. Okay, list the machines, stop the machines. Okay. See how this works. Hey, it didn't give us an error message. So it stopped everything. Let's keep going. And the final one. Goodbye. All right. Now we are back to square one. Now that we've reclaimed all the space and got rid of all the machines, I guess we can go ahead and start from the top. Pull up the documentation, and over the next couple of days or weeks, I'll be live streaming the reinstall. See you guys later. Now, you might already know this, but about a year ago, the good folks at OpenCT Services released the 10th anniversary